Welcome to episode number 120 of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of Jomboy Media and presented to you by our good friends over at SeatGeek. I ran into this guy during spring training. I could not believe that he was a major league catcher. I was like, oh my God, you're like Aaron Judge's size. That would be Tyler Stephenson, the rising young star of the Cincinnati Reds. Well, you're not like 7'2", but you're close, right?
Yeah, Judge. I don't know. I'm excited. We actually play the Yankees this year, so I actually get to see Judge in person. Yeah. I've heard he's a monster. So 6'4", 6'5", with cleats on.
Yeah. Did they ever try to move you from behind the plate because you were like, you are way too big to be back here, dude?
So it was actually fun. We just had a catcher's camp. Corky Miller, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Of course.
Legend. He's our catching coordinator. And we're just talking, and like obviously there was talks of like moving me to first base after I was drafted and stuff, just with my size and stuff. But he was saying like every year in spring training I would get better and better each year, and there's no need to move me. Maybe at some point later in the career, but I think we have a pretty good first baseman right now.
Yeah, I guess he's all right. If you're into like 38-year-old Canadians that are TikTok stars and are over 2,000 hits and all sorts of stuff. I guess if you're into that, I guess it's cool.
Legend.
Speaking of catchers in the Cincinnati area, I am wearing a shirt in honor of the Hall of Famer Johnny Bench. I imagine you've run into him a time or two. Yeah, absolutely. And so I've actually got like a little man cave in my house, and I've got his jersey up signed. I got his jersey signed last year. So that was a pretty cool moment for me. Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Were you shaking? Because it's okay to be a little nervous.
So this guy happened to be at our game yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple of days ago. And it's that I shouldn't be sitting right here.
Okay.
Pete Rose. So yeah, I've just got his ball sitting on my kitchen table right now. So I need to get that one framed up.
Yeah, let's box that bet. I'll send you one of the box. They were like $3.99 down the street, but I understand you're young, you're pre-arb, you want to save your money, you just got married. I'll send you one courtesy of the Rose Rotation, okay?
You got it.
Better yet.
No, they're great though.
I have a brother named Pete Rose.
Really?
Yes, I do. And everybody's like, God, your parents were so mean. Well, my brother was born in 1966. So it was Pete Rose started his career in 1963. So, 4 years. It'd be like naming your kid Juan Soto right now. Like you think, okay, might end up being a pretty good player, but not going to be leading the major leagues in hits all time. So
yeah, pretty good.
But I did. He used to be able to perfect Pete Rose's signature. Don't tell this to Pete because I want to cut of the proceeds. But he perfected the big bubble P and everything. And I used to tell everybody that my uncle was Pete Rose and sell his autograph on the bus for $1.
Wow. That's awesome.
Business.
Yeah, it's real world.
That's what we're thinking of. So you're one of the rising young stars in Cincinnati, along with guys like Jonathan India and Hunter Greene, and there's a few others. But the guy in town right now is Joe Burrow. And I saw you hanging out with him earlier this year. Got the picture. In fact, so infatuated with him, you made him your Twitter default icon. Did you not?
Yeah, I'm still rolling with it. I had it during the Super Bowl. So Indy and I actually went out to LA, made it to the Super Bowl. Obviously, it was heartbreaking. Really good game though. But yeah, him, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, they all came and like for the first pitch and stuff. And I actually thought about wearing the sweatshirt, but I've got the Joe Burrow like sweatshirt of him with the glasses and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a picture with him, like holding up that sweatshirt. Great dude. He's the man.
Now, wait, he threw out the first pitch and then didn't like Chase catch it or something, or Higgins?
Yeah, I think it was Zach. I think it was the head coach, Zach Taylor.
Oh, Zach Taylor.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know what? You're the catcher, dude. You got to elbow your way out. Just coach. I don't want you, missing it. And let me do this. This is my gig.
Warming up the pitcher in the bullpen isn't important.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
it's okay. We have next year. We have plenty of time.
At what point did you think the Bengals were winning that game, by the way?
I really thought they were going to come down their last drive and win it. And it was unbelievable the amount of support that they had in LA. It was incredible. The amount of Bengals fans and the amount of orange. It was special, and it says obviously a lot about the city of Cincinnati and how just the fan base can travel and how much they care about their sports. It was awesome.
But you're from Kennesaw, right?
Atlanta, yeah. Kennesaw.
It's suburban Atlanta for people that don't know.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be a Falcons guy?
So truthfully, I'm not much of an NFL guy.
Okay,
college football,
that's fine.
All day, every day. I've actually never been to a Falcons game, surprisingly enough.
Really?
Yep, never been to a Falcons game. And I think this was only my second. I think it was only my second ever NFL game. I went because spring training, our complex is obviously out in Arizona, and one of my first instructs, we had Sunday off, whatever, and so we went to a Cardinals game out there. So that was my first ever one, and so I really don't claim an NFL team, so I might as well support the Bengals while I'm here, and they're good.
Yeah, no, why not?
So,
it's the guy. I actually dig it. I'm a big fan of when guys. I mean, this isn't your hometown, Cincinnati. It's your work town. It's where you work.
Yeah.
So when you grow up, I'm sure you were a Braves fan, right?
Of course.
Right. So it's like you get drafted by a team, but then you indoctrinate yourself into the city, and you feel like you're a guy that's going to be there a while. I love it when like guys like you in India, and India's from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And you're from Georgia. I think it's cool. I like it. And when the guys from the Bengals show their support to you, the cross-pollination thing, I'm great with.
Yeah, I love it. I think it'd be cool to somehow like interact because Cincinnati is a smaller city, but there's two huge sport teams like with football and obviously with us. And it'd be cool to obviously connect, and they have a young core as well. So it'd be fun for all of us to kind of like support each other and whatnot. So I mean, I plan on. I haven't been to a game here in Cincinnati yet. I plan on that this off season for sure.
Yeah, Who Dey. That's
Yep.
Now, I'm a Clevelander, so
Yep.
I'm not getting on it. I hate the fact that I got to go against that beast for the next dozen years.
Yep.
Jeez, oh man. So he ain't bad. So as a Braves fan, who was the guy you pretended to be in the backyard? Was it Chipper?
Chipper, McCann, Andrew Jones, Francoeur. I'll never forget because I played at East Cobb. I don't know, like East Cobb's a huge travel ball organization in Metro Atlanta. Ton of guys came up through there who are obviously playing pro ball, and I need to try to find the picture. But it's when Jason Hayward actually first debuted with the Braves, and he played out of East Cobb. And so we would always have like a huge award ceremony at the end of the year. And he was actually one of the guest speakers. I think it was after he debuted. And there's like a photo of me when I was like probably 9 or 10 years old with some of my teammates, and Jason Hayward's there like as a guest speaker. And we got a photo, which was cool. And so I remember having that photo and watching him debut. And I think he hit a home run in his debut as well. So, I mean, yeah, all those guys I obviously grew up and going down to Turner Field. A lot of memories down there.
So was Jay Hay the first big leaguer you met?
Yeah, probably so. Now I'm thinking about it.
Well, I know you had that great picture. It was you and Glavine and Smoltz, and you got some sort of cool award. Was that your high school senior?
Like senior year, yeah. It was like Atlanta Player of the Year or something like that, and there was like a Braves award ceremony, and I think I was sitting. Actually, there was up on a table, and there was like a dinner thing, and I was sitting in between Glavine and Smoltz, which is pretty cool. Two pretty good dudes.
Yeah, it's not bad. We're showing the picture right now. First of all, you look like you could have gone right from there to the prom with the or the NBA draft with the red tux.
Red.
Looking great. And Glavine and Smoltz both dressed like old men that smell a little funny. Did you even
just got done golfing?
Probably. did you even get a chance, like when you're that young and you're sitting between two guys who you are like, holy shit, like this is where I want to be one day, is Cooperstown. Did you get a chance to talk with them, or are you just shoveling food in your mouth, just like, I can't believe I'm here?
I think I was more nervous. Like I'd still say I'm pretty shy, but I'm starting to get out of my shell. But especially when I was 18, 19 years old, like I'm sure I was just starstruck, just like sitting in between these two guys. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, don't say anything dumb. Just so nervous about everything. But they were cool. I mean, we're up there just chit chatting, having fun and stuff. So,
well, I imagine as a catcher, you have to play so many roles. And I've loved talking, we have Austin Hedges, who's a regular on this show.
mm-hmm.
We've had Tucker Barnhart. We've had Stephen Vogt. Like you have to, sometimes you got to be the asshole, right? Like sometimes you just have to be the guy who wants to put your arm around their shoulder and comfort them. How are you learning guys' different personalities and what buttons to push?
It's just spending a lot of time with the guys and figuring out, okay, who needs a little slap on the butt, who needs the little arm around, just a little pep talk. And it's just reading everybody's personalities. Like everybody's gonna be different. So it's just obviously going about the business of what you need to say to each guy, and it's part of the job, which makes it fun.
So what do we have to say to Hunter Greene?
Oof. He's more of just kind of like a pep talk guy. He's young. He's still learning. At the end of the day, it's like, all right, just throw your heater. Nobody's going to touch it. Those 112. No, I'm kidding. But no, just to see his development, honestly, just within this past month of how far he's come. Because obviously everybody's known since he was 15, 16 years old how hard he throws. But now the confidence that he's having with this slider, just being able to throw that whenever he wants, is just like he's just kind of playing with the guys, and he's still continuing to work on his changeup. So once he learns how to throw all the three of those pitches, kind of whenever he wants, good luck.
You caught him the night in Los Angeles where he threw like 78 pitches, more than 100. Didn't
you? Yeah.
Was your hand sore the next day?
Yep. We have a bunch of those guys. Him, Castillo, now Graham Ashcraft is one of our other guys who throws 100 too. It's like, God, where are these guys coming from? It's incredible. Everybody's throwing hard.
So you can feel it when you're back there and you're, and he's throwing 103. It feels different, right?
I don't know. You probably won't be able to tell. But between my two thumbs, this is the catching hand and this is the other one. One of them doesn't bend completely, just from getting abused for catching so many times, but it's all right.
You need your own personal hand masseuse. We need to put this one on Red's staff, just to work out all the kinks in your thumb.
Yeah. Well, guys are throwing too hard now.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I'm interested to see just the velocity jump within the past 10 years, what it's going to be 10 years from now. It's only going to go up.
So when you're a young catcher and you're trying to establish yourself, like I said, I've talked to veteran catchers who say they've got to sometimes be the bad guy out there. Mm-hmm. Which pitchers do you have to kind of get in their ass a little bit? Because that's the only way they respond, and they know it. Like, they're not mad at you, but they get it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that, like, I'm trying to figure out, because I am a quiet guy and, like, I will stay in my shell and, like, I'll express it in other ways. And I think that's kind of the next step of not necessarily like chewing out a guy or anything, but trusting what I see and being confident in what I need, whatever pitch I'm calling. And if they're shaking it, like if I need to go out and give them a visit, talk to them about it, and they're like, no, I want to throw a slider instead of a fastball. I'm just like, at the end of the day, you want the pitcher to be 100% convicted in whatever pitch he's throwing, because the second that he's not 100% is usually the times that he makes a mistake and leaves it out over the middle of the plate. So we're getting there.
Do you dig PitchCom?
I do. It's different. I was very, I don't know what I was thinking at first, because it was new. I actually didn't know about it until we were in spring training, and one of the umpires, I forgot who it was. One of the umpires actually mentioned it to me. He was like, "Hey, how you liking?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he was telling me about, like, yeah, these guys, some of the catchers are wearing wristbands, and they like do the signals on there, and you have an earpiece. I'm like, and then sure enough, we had it. We just weren't using it. So then we started to experiment with it in spring training, and then now pretty much everybody's using it. And then we're only using it with guys on second base, just to kind of keep up the tempo and stuff. But it is nice not having to worry about like the signs, obviously the whole sign stealing scandals and all that stuff. So, I mean, I like it.
So what's the voice? Because Austin Hedges said he voiced it for the Guardians. Of course he did, because he's
Really?
Yeah, that's who he is. So
That's pretty sick. One of our like analytical guys, the one who's in charge of it, has his voice on there. So
wait a second. So you let one of the nerds do it?
Yep.
Well, you got to pick the guy who's got the best voice on the team.
So one of our pitchers, Art Warren, has one of the deepest voices of all time. I think we need to try to get him to do that. That'd be a good one.
Right. Yeah. Get somebody with a little personality. Let's pick it up a little bit. Have a little fun back there. Yeah. Now, have you ever called a pitch and you're like, oh, damn, I hit the wrong button?
Oh, okay. It's better now just because we've been using it for so long. But it's hard to explain. But we have like, there's a bunch of different buttons, but there's like 4 corners. And if you click the pitch, like the top right is up and away. And this, if you click it, it says slider, but if you hold it down, it says up and away. So if you go like fastball up and away, but you don't hold it down long enough, it's like fastball slider. And then you're sitting there like, dang it. And then you got to go like cancel, or usually if anything like that happens, I just call time. I'm just like pissed off. And it's funny. One of the first times that it happened, it was in spring training. Some of our infielders wear it as well. And so Moose and Farmer, Moose was playing third and Farmer was playing short. Something like that happened where it was like fastball pitch out, just something weird. And then I call time and I see Moose and Farmer looking at each other and they're laughing. I'm like, God. But yeah, we've gotten better at it though.
Hey, are you like me? You love minor league baseball? Want to shoot you a quick reminder about the Hudson Valley Renegades. That's these guys right here. They're the high A affiliate of the New York Yankees. Go out and get your tickets at 845-838-0094, or you can visit hvrenegades.com. In fact, buy one, get one lower box ticket the rest of the season with the code Jomboy. That's buy one, get one lower box ticket the rest of the season with the code Jomboy. Also follow them on HV Renegades on Instagram and on Twitter and TikTok. You can find out your favorite up-and-coming next Bronx Bombers. They've got new hats like this. They got new merch. They got new swag. Only at the Renegades team store. Use the code Jomboy for 20% off of your purchase today. So once again, make sure to visit hvrenegades.com. Buy one, get one lower box ticket the rest of the season. The code Jomboy. Maybe you'll see Jimmy or Jake out there. Did you have your welcome to the show moment back there? Like, who was the first guy that stepped in the batter's box? You kind of looked at him and you went, yeah, this isn't Georgia high school baseball anymore.
No. So I debuted in 20, right. the COVID year. So it was a little different because we didn't have like obviously the fans and the whole experience and stuff. But I debuted against the Cubs, so like Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, Schwarber, all those guys, and I was like, these are guys that I was watching on TV when I was in high school. So that was a pretty surreal moment. And then I don't think it really hit until opening day last year, like being out on the line and they're doing the anthem and the flyover and it's sold out crowd in Cincy and we're playing the Cardinals and it was just like, this is cool.
Was there a fellow catcher who welcomed you? I know that Hedges said that when he came up, his first appearance was in San Francisco, and Buster Posey, a guy he idolized, was like, "Hey, dude, welcome to the show." He was like, "Thanks, Mr. Posey."
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing like that. But during 20, I was kind of up and down a little bit. And at our alt site, we had Francisco Pena. And he played with the Cardinals with Yachty for a handful of years. And like, I made a comment of like, "Oh man, it'd be so cool to have a Yachty jersey." And he was like, "Just get one. And then like, I'll text him. And then whenever you guys like play him or whatever, like send it down, he'll sign it." And then sure enough, we did. And I got a Yachty jersey. And I remember like playing the next time after that and like going up, hit, or he comes up and I was like, "Hey man, like thanks for the jersey and stuff." And he was super respectful about it, super professional about it and stuff. So that was pretty cool to experience that from obviously one of the best catchers ever.
Yeah, it's not a bad moment.
No, not at all.
Did you get a chance this weekend? I don't know how much you're on social media, but our fearless leader here at Jomboy Media, Jomboy, put out a little breakdown of what happened between the Tigers and the Yankees, and the Yankees picking up the signs on the young pitcher Rodriguez for the Tigers. You see this?
I remember seeing it. I don't think I watched the video of the breakdown, but I think, yeah, I saw something. He was tipping pitches and stuff.
Yeah. So here's what I want you to do. First of all, hopefully you can see the video here. Let's see if you can slide around. See the video? You'll probably see a 5.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So I want you to listen to this. It's a 2-minute clip, but I want you to listen and see how much this actually happens behind the plate. Here we go.
This is the one shot that kept me up all night, and I untangled this web. Look at Tucker Barnhart, who's awesome. Love Tucker. And he's saying, "Hey, shake your head no." And that's the fake shake. And then he does the glove fake to try and sell the high fastball, even though it's another slider away. And what happened was, in the second inning, that strike was called a ball. Josh Donaldson gets the first base, and now all of the Yankees have eyes on the pitcher, the rookie, to see if he is giving away his pitches from the stretch. They figured out that if the pitcher in the stretch looks straight ahead to third base, a fastball is coming. If he doesn't really do that, an off speed is coming. So Carpenter's up, and he lays down a bunt on the fastball, and it's an absolute beauty, and it does more than pass the baton. It now lets the batters know what pitch is coming. He looks down, he looks up, he does not look towards third base, so off speed's coming. Kiner waits on it, sends it into left field, and then the last one, he didn't look at all. This is another slider, and Trevino puts it in play. It looks like he hits it weakly, so the center fielder comes in, goes over his head. They score a couple runs. Okay, oh, that's a nice long look at third. This is probably a fastball. Oh, yeah, and Tucker wants it high and away because they're trying to get away with fastballs here, and Hicks says, "No, I knew it was coming, so I'll just swing and put that in play," which means he has to go to the stretch, which means bad news because Judge sees him look at third for a little bit there, knows a fastball's coming, hammers it in play for the single. Now there's runners on, and Rizzo sees him look at third base for a while there, knows the fastball's coming, and smacks that for a home run. And then there's no one on base, so his pitches start to work again because they don't know. And he fools Josh Donaldson with his off-speed nicely. Uh-oh, now a runner is on base again for Carpenter, who's licking his chops. Oh, there's the nice head pause I was looking for. Kabam. Homer.
Are we onto something here?
That was man. Can you hear that?
That's all right. We'll
yeah.
You know, there's tree stuff in the neighborhood. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that was a pretty obvious one. When that happens during a game, can you pick up on stuff that your pitcher is doing? And if so, can you make them aware? Or is that something where you just have to say, "Hey, screw it. We got to fight through a couple innings and we'll deal with it in between starts"? Yeah, I think if it's something that we recognize, then either like myself or DJ, who's our pitching coach, will come out and we'll have a conversation about it. But sometimes teams are really good at it, and like we'll try to dissect it, and then sometimes we won't be able to figure it out until after a start, and we put up video and stuff, and then like during the bullpen or something like that, then we'll have the conversation about it. But there's teams out there that are really good at it.
So it happens a lot during games, does it not? I mean, where teams are constantly trying to dissect your pitcher and.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's part of the game. So that obviously it's a fair game at that point, which there's no issue with that. So yeah, I mean, it happens for sure.
So you guys have told pitchers, excuse me, sometimes during games, hey, dude, you're looking at third. They know a fastball's coming. You've got to make some sort of adjustment. Guys can fix it mid-game?
Yeah. Yes, if that conversation comes about and like we have a mound visit and something happens, then we can for sure make that. I mean, it's happened. I'm not saying who. I'm not going to say who, but it has happened a few times this year where we've had a conversation out on the mound just to change it up. And sure enough, it got better.
Just to make sure nobody's getting hatcheted to death in the next room or anything, right?
I'm hoping not. I have no idea what's going on. It started at like 9 a.m. this morning.
Oh, see now, if that's me, are you guys like in a condo or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's me, I'm calling down to the main office, or I'm just getting a case of beer and telling them to just, hey, listen, I got a big league game tonight at 6:40. Can you just like come back at noon?
So I think, I don't know what exactly it is, but there's kind of like an overhang right where the entrance is, where like you can pull under. And I guess I'm on the second floor, so it makes sense. And apparently a beer truck, because there's a restaurant attached where I live at on the first floor. There's a beer truck and it hit the overhang. So I think they're doing construction on that. And like the whole overhang is like slanted and stuff, and it's been marked off. So they're like, yeah, it can fall at any moment. So I actually think they're doing construction on that, which makes sense. So
were you home when the beer truck had its accident?
No, I would have went out there and just grabbed all the beer.
I was going to say, man, then it's a free for all. Sorry, if you're dumb enough to try and get under an overhang when it's like only 8 feet and your truck's 10, I'm open for business.
Yeah, no, sadly I wasn't home. It was during the game. So
you just got married in the off season, correct?
I did. December 4th, and we actually just had our 6-month anniversary a day or two ago. Yeah, 2 days ago.
Congratulations. Yeah, I saw the video. I wasn't stalking you on social media or anything, but boy, I saw that beautifully produced video. That's like that's top of the line sort of stuff. Where was the honeymoon?
Honeymoon was in Maui. Unbelievable. We're already trying to figure out what our vacation spot's going to be this off season. We're like, man, we want to go back. It was beautiful. We were out there for about a week, and we're like, man, we'll just go off for 2 weeks this year.
Yeah, Maui. That's where we went. That was 25 years ago. We went to Maui and Kauai. We also were living in Atlanta at the time. Got married in Los Angeles. We were like, oh, we're already halfway there. Let's keep going. Yeah. It's like you never want to leave. So, good place.
Yeah, we got married in Charleston, South Carolina. And have you seen Outer Banks on Netflix?
I'm like the one person that hasn't. Both my boys have. They loved it, the whole bit.
So we got married. Where we got married at was filmed. It was filmed there. Outer Banks, or not Outer Banks. It's called Lounge Grove. So we got married there. Beautiful spot. And then we actually flew to Atlanta, and then we flew from Atlanta to Honolulu, which was 10 hours.
Yeah.
So we just did that long flight. And yeah, that was a long time.
Yeah. And for a big guy that's 6'4", in a middle seat for 10 hours in economy, that can be tough.
I did not do that. I was smarter than that.
Thank you. Somebody took a little of that bonus money for getting drafted 11th overall.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was like, I can't do that for 10 hours. So we at least had some good seats.
That's very big league of you. Very big.
Yeah.
You work with one of my favorite people in the world, in Joey Votto. I would like you to just enjoy 50 seconds of his TikTok fame. Let's see what we got here. I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing.
Mama needs her pool boys. She needs them.
The pool boy one got me.
Yeah, this was in spring training, and this was a good one.
Yeah, it was good. Has he asked you to be in any TikToks?
So yes, we've had the conversation, but he's been kind of slacking on his content here lately. So this is Takashi, who's our like massage therapist, unbelievable guy. He's from Japan, and Ashley, our nutritionist. Yeah, he's asked me. He's asked me. We haven't came up with one yet. I don't know. We'll wait and see if that comes about.
Are you in though? Are you on board with it, or are you hesitant? I mean, you're in your mid-20s. This is prime TikTok real estate.
Yeah, it is. Depending on what the content is, I'm down. I can roll with it.
Do you remember the first time you met Mr. Votto?
It is so crazy. My wife and I were actually talking about this. So I remember like my first couple of spring trainings, being in minor league camp. I would be there early for like these strength camp stuff, and 18, 19, 20 years old, and you're there with the big league guys, and it's like, oh my God, there's Joey Votto, there's Billy Hamilton, there's Jay Bruce and Barnhart, all these guys, and you're just like pretty much fanning out about it, and like you don't ever want to like talk to them or anything. I don't exactly remember the first time we met, but I remember being very intimidated of Joey, because it's like MVP. I mean, this dude is a Hall of Famer. It's like, this guy's very serious about his work. And then it's funny just to see, like, he came to my wedding this offseason. And it's just like, I don't know how this started, but it very close friendship. It's pretty cool.
Did he get you something nice?
Yeah, a nice knife, like some knives.
The Joey Votto knife set.
Yeah, knife set. Some like really nice steak knives. It's nice.
I'm going to tell you, I think we still have like our original knife set from 25 years ago. No joke. Those things, I mean, it's always fun to see who got you the gift that lasts the longest.
Yeah.
Like you're never going to use the nice plates. I got to be honest with you. Like the gorgeous china that you got.
Yeah.
You're going to use that 6 times in your life. Sorry.
Yeah.
The knives, those are in play all the time.
Yep.
Are you a chef at all?
Learning in the process. I do enjoy cooking.
Okay.
Very, very basic: chicken, steak, salmon. But this off season, definitely want to experiment more. So I got a Traeger grill. I don't know if you have a Traeger. Mm. So I got one, and I got it like towards the end of the off season last year. So I only got to use it a few times. But I'm excited to get home, watch some college football, smoke some stuff, and sit and relax. I smoked a brisket. It was good. It was really good.
That's advanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually turned out pretty solid. So.
You said you're a college football guy. Are you a Dogs? Are you between the hedges, dude? Because I know you were going to go to Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah. So it's always a tough one, because Kyle Farmer played at Georgia, and he calls me a fake fan because I was committed to Georgia Tech. Grew up a Georgia fan, still am. I have to clarify that. But Danny Hall, who's the head coach at Georgia Tech, his oldest son is my age, and we grew up playing with each other for years. And they offered me a scholarship. I went down to baseball games all the time just because we were really close. Had a full ride there, had the education. And at this point, at that time, I committed, I think it was my freshman year, right before Christmas. I didn't even think about the draft. It was always school and baseball. So it was like, to get a Georgia Tech education, like, absolutely. But also at that time, UGA had fired their coach, and Strickland, I think is the head coach now, came in, and there was just a bunch of mess going on with the new coach coming in, and I knew some people that were there. So it was just like, okay, Georgia Tech's the play.
But
my wife went to Clemson, which makes it even better.
Who went
So
to Clemson?
my wife went to Clemson.
Oh my.
So yeah.
That's interesting for college football Saturday.
Yeah. So yeah, they actually played last year. Georgia and Clemson. They played last year, so I got I have the winning rights for until the next time that they play.
No, you don't. I mean, you might have won the day.
She always wins.
I'm just telling you. You're going to end up with a massively losing record. There are very few wins.
Yeah.
Savor them when they come.
But it was cool just to see Georgia win something and for Atlanta. Because obviously with the Super Bowl and then Georgia played Alabama a couple years ago and then they lost. So
fun. When the Braves won last year, when you grow up a Braves fan, but now you're competing against them, were there any feelings of like, oh, it's kind of cool? Or were you, because I imagine you've got a bunch of boys who are, even though they're rooting for you and they want the Reds to do well, they're like, it's Braves country.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just like to, I think it's an unbelievable. Have you been to a game down at Truist?
I have not. It's one of the 3 ballparks I haven't been to yet.
Yeah. They did an incredible job down there. Because like Turner Field was still a nice stadium, and then there's talks of moving it up to Marietta, Cobb County area, and everybody was kind of skeptical about it. But I think what they did with the Battery and just like they have a whole bunch of bars and restaurants right there by the stadium. It's a really awesome spot, and I have a whole bunch of friends that go down there. They'll go out to some of the bars and just like hang out down there. During the World Series, everybody obviously was posting about it because I have a ton of people that live there, and friends that hang out there and stuff. But yeah, it was weird. I mean, I think Atlanta obviously deserved a championship at some point, just for the city from what they've had. But obviously, I selfishly I want to win one, be a part of one. So we'll get there.
I guess somebody has to win it. So why not your hometown team? If it can't be you.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Your first major league at bat, not bad. I think it was the second pitch you saw that left the yard. Nobody's in the seats. Did it make it a little weird, or was there still, because I saw you round in third afterward and you got this huge smile on your face, and you should, but was it a little different because you're like, wait, is this like a backfield scrimmage in Arizona, or is this the real thing that happened?
Literally. So yeah, second pitch I saw, hit it out. I would have thought, even if it was a packed house, I mean, because anytime we play the Cubs, it's always packed. So debuting against the Cubs, if there would have been people there, it would have been a huge crowd. And that would have been my first time playing in front of a huge crowd. So who knows what would have happened if I even would have got a hit or anything like that. So I think playing in front of nobody might have actually helped me, just because there wasn't any extra pressure or anything. And it just felt like you said, it like literally a backfield game in a big league stadium. But yeah, sure enough, hit a home run, and then I'm like rounding third, and David Bodie, I believe, is it? Yeah, there. He was playing third, and like said congrats and stuff. So I kind of like pointed in the video. You can kind of see like I pointed to him and stuff. It was a really cool moment. And, I think I ended up going like 2 for 2 and I had a walk against Kimbrel, which that was, I think, one of my favorite moments growing up in Atlanta. Kimbrel, it's bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, I'm up, and I draw a walk against him. So it was pretty cool.
It's better than pretty cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's the ball?
Home. The batting gloves and the ball are at my house.
Parents
got
didn't
it
want
all. They actually might have it.
Tyler.
Either I have it or they have it.
It's your.
I haven't been home in like 6 months.
Okay, but we got to know where that thing is. I mean, let's keep eyes on that. It's not like, okay, you know, it was like a little flare over the second baseman's head, which would have been nice. Like it's a pretty big one.
I think I'm pretty confident that it's actually at their house. Because in my room, I just have the jerseys. And yeah, it's at theirs.
The time I met you was out at spring training, and it was under very odd circumstances. I went out there to say hello to a bunch of the guys and talking with Winker, catching up. He's a buddy of mine. I go to lunch because you guys have a meeting, and one of the dudes I'm with, Joe's McFly, goes, "Holy shit, Jesse Winker just got traded." I'm like, "No, he didn't. We were just talking to him. He didn't just get traded." It's like, "Yeah, it's him and Suarez to Seattle." I was like, "Oh, no." So we had to come back. We walk past Winker and Suarez. They're out on the phone. They're crying their eyes out, and I say hello to you. And I know that you and Jesse formed a relationship when you were very young in your career there, because he was rehabbing and how tough was that when you're seeing a guy who had kind of helped pave your way a little bit hit the road?
Yeah, it was that was one of the more interesting days I've ever been a part of. Obviously 2 huge pieces to the team and the clubhouse. But obviously at the end of the day, it's business, and there's going to be more times like that throughout my career. But yeah, Winker and I think it was 2016 or 2017, I was rehabbing, and I was out in Arizona, and Winker was out there rehabbing as well. And I think this was right before that he debuted. He was in AA, AAA. Obviously, he was a huge prospect with us, and we got to know each other just throughout the rehab, and then we spent a lot of time together, and we would go out to some dinners and stuff, and just to hear him kind of talk about like the expectations and both being high draft picks and like living up to their expectations and like all this stuff, like just how to handle it. And he was one of like the first guys that told me, it was like, just because you don't get a hit your first at bat, like don't let that affect the rest of your game. Like you're always the next at bat away from getting hit or something. And from like that moment on, because I was young, I used to get mad if I was 0 for 4 or like strike out, I'd be mad. I mean, it was just, I was young and I wanted to selfishly get a hit every time. But obviously this is a game of failure. And if you continue to have that mindset, like you're not going to survive this game. So you just have to be able to forget about it and have a short-term memory loss, really just forget about it.
Well, you guys have really kind of flipped the script here over the last 3 to 4 weeks. Because at the beginning of the year, when you were 3-22, it just was, even if you're not a Reds fan, you couldn't help but feel for you guys and feel for the city and everything. When you have a start like that, what the hell is it like when you get home and you're like, you try to keep it at the ballpark, but I can't imagine when you're 3-22, you're like, okay, yeah, everything's great.
Yeah, I know we had a bunch of young guys on our team, and we were hit with injuries. Like India hurt his hamstring early on, and then he ended up hurting again. Moose was hurt. Castillo wasn't ready for the start of the season.
Right.
Mike Minor, obviously, he just came back. Donovan Solano, he was out, so he's going to be back soon. And we just had a bunch of guys hurt, and I didn't think we were playing bad baseball. I just, sometimes in this game, you feel like either everything goes your way or it goes against your way. And I felt like everything just really went against us, because there would always be like the one inning where they could score 5-6 runs, and then that was it, and then we would end up losing. But I mean, we came in positive every day. Like we weren't miserable. Like our locker room, our clubhouse, our staff is great. We came together, we competed, we had fun. We just would come up short, and we didn't let that really affect us. And now we're starting to kind of get some guys back and get some momentum and stuff. And like you said, like in May, I think we had a winning record, and it was a lot better.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm happy. That's a tribute to you guys in the clubhouse, a tribute to David Bell as well, the manager and the coaching staff, so that you didn't walk it, because it could have gone sideways there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, not like looking back on it, I'm like, golly, like how did that even happen? Because it was like we're a much better team than that, but I don't know. That's the past, and now we're just worried about the future and going forward. So
I thought one of the coolest moments we saw was when you guys were in Toronto, and might have been a Sunday game for Joey Votto in what might have been his last at bat in his hometown, ends up hitting a homer. And it had been a struggle for him really to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Was it kind of emotional for you guys in the dugout to see that happen?
So he called his shot too. There was a clip of that. I forgot what the count was, but he like kind of looks into the dugout and says homer, and sure enough, the next pitch, he clips it. And I forgot who it was, but one of the, I guess, clubbies in the locker room came like running into the dugout. It was like, I called it. I said Joey's going to homer in his last at bat here. It was sick just for him. Obviously being in the Central, like I think it's been like 6 years since we were in Toronto, something like that. And for it very well likely being his last at bat ever in Toronto for him to homer. It's pretty cool. You know, it was great. Like their fans were great. Like every time he came up, it was a big, they'd be cheering and stuff. So it was really cool just to see their support as well.
It's nice. Guys made such a difference for people really all around the game. And you started to do that as well. There was a great social media story of you. I guess there's that glass see-through when you're walking through the tunnel, and this great picture of this little kid that's wearing your jersey. And you said, hey, this is the first time I saw somebody wearing my jersey. So you set it up so that the family could join you on the field for BP, and you gave the kid gifts and stuff like that. How cool is it when you see somebody wearing Stephenson on the back of jersey and rolling around? You're like, I guess I made it.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first moments. I'm like, man, like this is pretty special, because I mean, I was a kid like him with dreams and wanting to be a big leaguer, and then sure enough, obviously I've worked hard to be where I'm at. And I remember, I think it was before a game, like that'll lead to like our dugout, and I was just like walking up, getting ready to put all my bats and stuff in there, and people were knocking on the glass, and see the kid like with the Stevenson jersey. I'm like, holy smokes, this is sick. And then obviously, the dad got an amazing photo there, and they ended up coming out to BP a few days later, and great family, side of bat. Preston is his name, and it was cool. Like on the bat, it said "Dream Big," because obviously anything is possible, and just continue to live up to your goals, and you never know what's in store for you.
Dude, you're changing kids' lives, man.
Yeah.
One little Stephenson fan at a time. I love that. That's nice. Before we get out of here, I want to spin the wheel of moderately interesting things. The questions are not very difficult. I'm not very smart.
Okay.
Opening wage. What was your first ever paying job, Tyler Stephenson?
Professional baseball.
My God, that's the third straight one where I've had that.
I did not have a job at all. No Chick-fil-A, no nothing. It was school and baseball. First ever job I had was the day I signed my contract and got shipped out to Billings, Montana.
That's a hell of a paycheck, though, for your first one.
Yeah. Just those minor league paychecks, though, are a little different, though.
Yeah,
might have been
live
better.
off the bonus for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm going to force you to do another one, since you're another one of those snot-nosed kids that just went right from high school baseball to all right, you know what? This is going to be good because you got great hair. Feeling good. What is the one like beauty product that you can't live without when you have to go on the road or something? Yeah, you got to have some. Look at your hair, dude. I
comb it every morning.
What's that?
I just comb it every morning.
You don't put anything in that?
Hmm.
You don't use any lotion. There's no cologne. There's not a spray.
I mean, I use lotion every morning on my face, but it's just basic lotion and some cologne. I don't know. I think it's a Chanel cologne or something.
I have a cologne that's called Sacred Wood. No joke.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That might be my next investment.
Yeah, that's. I will tell you this. It helps out in all the important areas. It's a good, particularly when you've been in the game like 25 years, and your wife gets you a bottle called Sacred Wood. Sign up.
Yeah, I'll spray some on and then go out there and play some baseball. And the umpire says, "Man, you smell good." I'm like, "Yeah, it's sacred wood."
Go talk to Salvador Perez about that. He's been spraying himself down for years.
I catch. I smell it. Trust me. I smell everybody that comes up, and some smell better than others.
Are there some guys who you're like, whoa, okay, like you can smell them a mile away? Where you're like, yeah, there's guys doused in it.
No, we just played National. Cesar Hernandez. Come on, good.
Okay.
Good leadoff hitter. Come on, really good.
Good vet. That's a good vet move. And then there's other guys who maybe you should have the spray bottle on hand. Yeah. Clean it up a little bit.
I probably should, especially with my catching gear.
Well, there's a few umpires, I imagine, that could use it too.
Yeah. Both of us.
All right. Before I get out of here, I have to ask. I know you're not a big football fan. What spot is Tommy Pham drafting in the Fantasy Football League?
Say that again?
I said, what spot is Tommy Pham drafting in the Fantasy Football League?
What spot? I don't know what pick he has. I'm not a part of.
You might not want to be.
Yeah. So we just had a catcher's camp. Like here, it was pretty cool. Our catcher coach set it up, and there's a bunch of these like high school kids.
Right.
Oh yeah, tell Tommy Pham to join our fantasy league. Like, ooh, no thanks. Yeah.
Did you give it to him a little bit?
To the kids?
No, Tommy Pham. Or is that off base with guys? Because you guys will take anybody to the woodshed for any little thing, or do you have to let that one fly under the radar?
Oof. Some other guys talk to him a lot more about it, but I just kind of sit back. I'm the young guy in the team. I'm not gonna express myself too much. I'm just gonna kind of sit back and listen and stuff. But it was an interesting, obviously story, but there's a lot of details after hearing him explain everything. I don't know how much is actually out there or not, but hearing his side and stuff, it's like you understand it, but I don't know if that's how I would have handled the situation.
Yeah. I get it.
But obviously it's his life, so but he's great. I love his presence in the clubhouse. He's an unbelievable guy.
Hey man, he stuck up for you earlier this year in that thing out in San Diego. He had your back. And
I respect it.
Hell yes. That's a good deal, man.
Yeah, it's a great dude.
Hey, listen, it was good catching up with you. I appreciate you fighting through the beer truck fiasco.
Hope it's not too bad.
You need not worry about that. We've got the best editor in the business, Robbie Scirocco. Yeah. He's going to
love that.
Yeah, he'll make this whole thing work and sing. Continued success. Keep balling out there. It's been a blast watching you do your thing. It's not easy being a young catcher and finding your way and still find time to hit the ball well, and days where you're not sore and feeling like crap and all that other stuff. But it's really been fun.
I appreciate it.
You got it.
Absolutely.
Special shout out to our producer extraordinaire, the one and only Robbie Scirocco, our summer intern, Alden Stone, joining us as well, and the legendary communications guru, Rob Butcher, the Cincinnati Reds, for setting it all up. For Tyler Stephenson, I'm Chris Rose. We'll see you next time on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of Jomboy Media.